lovely friends, thank you so much for being here. We have an interesting new product to chat about today. It's from Maybelline and it's called the Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. If you're familiar with that Age Rewind line, it's the same like packaging format as their Instant Age Rewind foundation. Okay, so we've got this big puffy kind of click through top where the product is going to come up through. And what's interesting about this is all the claims. It claims to be a 4-in-1 glow makeup. So the 4 are primer, concealer, highlighter, and BB cream. All right. So this does not come in a lot of shades, but as you'll see, if you look through on Ulta's website, and I can pop it up on the screen for you, every shade should cover a bit of a range because this is a very sheer product, right? It's a concealer, but it's very sheer, so it can accommodate lots of different shades. They're getting me a little bit on that concealer claim. I'm like, I don't know. When I first got this, I swear there was some kind of glitch on Ulta's website because they had even fewer shades available or even posted, period. And so it made sense for me to get the medium. Well, the medium is quite dark on me, so I ended up ordering the light, and there's just a massive jump between light and medium. There's one shade lighter than this, which is fair light, and then after this it goes medium, deep, and deep. These shades claim to be self-adjusting. So again, they each blend into multiple skin tones, they say. It's going to run you $12.99, so a little bit on the more expensive end for drugstore makeup, but kind of average as far as most newer drugstore foundations go these days. So if you look up really close at this product, I wonder if I can show you. Getting really focused in on these products, if you look up very, very close, you can see the very fine shimmer that is contained in these products. So they are glowy for sure. And even if you look at the reviews on Ulta's website, a lot of people are already comparing this product to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And I will say, if I swatch out a little bit of the Hollywood Flawless Filter, I promise we'll get to some application stuff here soon, but I just want to address this. I have Hollywood Flawless Filter in light, and then I have this product in light as well. Get some of this out. Of course, you got to click it. I shear that swatch just a bit. The shades are just a little bit different. You can see my light from Charlotte Tilbury is even a little bit brighter than this shade is, but also if you're to blend those out and shear them out, the Charlotte Tilbury is quicker to like set up on the skin, whereas I think the Maybelline feels like it has a little more moisture. And I might say that the Charlotte Tilbury's glow is maybe even a little bit more concentrated. I'm real cautious to say something is a 100% dupe, especially something where the formula nuances are so, varied. So I wouldn't say it's a total dupe, but I would say maybe this is an alternative because you can wear it in different ways. Just like the Charlotte Tilbury, you could wear it all over like as primer before makeup. You could wear it just selectively in certain areas on top of your makeup for a highlighted glow. I've done that. And I've always thought of this product is a mixture of like glowy liquid highlight but foundation mixed in as well, and this does give me that kind of a vibe. So I do think they are similar products. Charlotte Tilbury does offer a much wider shade range in this stuff as well, but we're going to go ahead and do an application with this. We're going to really think about these different functions that they list: primer, concealer, highlighter, and BB cream. I've got my bare skin here. Well, I do have my skincare on and my sunscreen. This does not contain sunscreen, by the way. And another thing I could do is probably apply a little bit of this as a bronzer / contour shade because it really has that look. But just because most people will probably just be picking this up in one shade, I'm going to give you the effect of what one shade is like. So I've clicked that product up through. You can see it kind of streaking on the skin. So they say it's concealer. I'm going to get it all the way up to my under eye area and around areas where I would conceal too, like redness around the nose. And then I'll use my little Profusion foundation brush here just to blend this in. Let's see what kind of coverage we're getting. I mean, we know it's going to be light, right? Super duper glowy, incredibly glowy. Right now I'm really trying to think, is it like a BB cream? Is it like any BB creams I've had? And the level of moisture in the product, again, feels like there's definitely more moisture in it than the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. So in that way, it may kind of serve you well in the all over the face sense a little bit better than the Charlotte Tilbury might. But there it is, all blended in all over. I'm not really feeling concealed. Every area where I would normally conceal, I still want to conceal. So I don't know why they even gave that as a claim, but I do feel like my skin tone as a whole is evened out. I feel more radiant. I think this stuff is definitely effective as a pinpointed highlight, but all over the skin, this is the kind of look you're going to have. And now I feel like I want to go on and finish my look quickly. We'll continue to keep it kind of a low-key drugstore look, but I just want to show you how an actual face that I would wear out and about comes together. This look though, the more I see it on my skin, the more I'm thinking, yeah, I could see myself wearing this just like beach makeup, you know? I feel like it provided some very sheer coverage to the skin. However, that level of shimmer, when you do get up close, I am seeing the pores right in here a little bit more, the texture right in here. But the moisture level, keep in mind I was moisturized underneath first, but it added some moisture a little bit. Just think about any texture issues you might have on the skin, and the fact that the shimmer in this is going to kind of play off that a bit and might not be your most attractive thing. But let's put on some concealer and whatnot and we'll see if we can adjust. So that's concealer and powder on. I used the Instant Age Rewind concealer and then I set it with Rimmel Stay Matte powder. And this is the look I could really get on board with at this point. I don't feel like I have the fullest coverage going on my under eye right now, but for this kind of light, easy look, I'm okay with this. This thing definitely is not a concealer, okay? But I can feel better about like the texture and some of the things I was noting right before I put those last two steps on. I feel like they've been sort of handled by the concealer and the powder now. Then I'm gonna move on to this Milani All-Inclusive palette. This is in the light to medium color family, and I'll just put on basically all these face steps. And by the way, I do have a full review on this product. If you're interested, I'll link to it below. Now face color steps are done. I use that bronzer, the glowy blush, and then the highlight as well. So I sort of restored some of the glow that was taken away by the mattifying powders, but now the texture of my skin feels a little bit more like I could see it making it through the whole day. So now I'm going to do brows. This is my Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt in the shade Medium Brown. Alrighty friends, so here's my finished look. I went ahead and did the eye look that was available there in that Milani palette. I used my light liner in the lower inner rim and my e.l.f. Mint Melt shadow stick. What was the shade on that? This is called Melt With Me, just a shimmery brown, and I took that across the upper lash line for easy liner. Used my Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume on the upper lashes and Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions on the lower lashes. Oh, put a lip color on. This is my NYX Lingerie XXL in the shade called Flaunt It. So overall, I feel great about the appearance of the skin, actually. I think even with that super glowy makeup all over, once you kind of make some adjustments with the concealer and the powder at this stage of the game, it's looking really good. Now we're going to wear test this all day and we're going to see how it actually plays out throughout the course of a day, because I think that really tells the tale as far as heat comes in contact with the skin. Maybe you sweat a little bit, some things start to break down with no touch touch-ups, we'll see how this plays out. But for right now, just as far as like finishing your makeup and looking at the appearance of the skin, the glow that this gives can definitely be sort of tempered, I guess you might say, by a little concealer and some powder in the T-zone and the under eye area as well. So is it primer? I think it could be a nice glowy primer for the skin if that's something you're after. A lot of people do like to reach for a glowy primer, and depending on the foundation you're using, it can really have an impact. I think this would be an easy thing to throw on in that way, and I think the texture of it lends itself to that. There is a little bit of slip to this product, a little bit of moisture that I noticed the Charlotte Tilbury not quite having as much of. This one, you might have to blend it out a little quicker, but it could still be a primer. This one, I think, very effective as a primer. As a concealer, no, I really don't think this is a concealer. I think they threw that in there to make the product extra intriguing for people like me, but it's not concealing anything actually. A highlighter, absolutely. If you wanted to then go over top of the skin and give a couple extra dabs of this, let's just show you what this would look like, even though I've already applied the highlighter in the Milani thing, but you could dab over the skin and get a really pretty glow, and that might even going forward be a very preferred method of using this product for me, is to just like dab over top or do a little touch up with it late in the day. You know, you've repowdered, you've gotten everything kind of even and set again, and then you just dab this on some key areas for a little highlight. I think that's really beautiful actually. And as a highlight, this becomes more subtle. As a foundation, it's like, whoa, there's so much glow. But if you then put it in the highlighter category and you look at how glowy all your different powder, or cream, or liquid highlights can be, this actually ranks kind of low. You know, it gives you some glow, but it's also got that skin tone mixed into it. So I think it's very effective as a highlighter. As a BB cream, yeah, I guess so. I see more moisture in this than this one, like I said. So I think it functions in that all over way a little bit better, but it's just going to depend on your skin type and your skin texture as to whether you really like that look or not. Keep in mind, no SPF in this, so you're going to have to provide your own where that's concerned. One key difference about this also, though, the application style is very different. Here it's coming through that little puffy top, and with the Charlotte Tilbury, you actually have a big doe foot applicator. So that's going to make mixing this one a lot easier if you're planning to mix it in like on a palette or on the back of your hand with a couple drops of regular foundation. That's going to happen much easier with this product than it is with this. With this one, if I were going to mix it in with a foundation, I would probably go ahead and dot this around in some places on the skin and then dot my foundation on my face and then just blend from there. You know what I'm saying? That's just the easiest way to go about it. But I don't think these are total dupes for one another, but I think you definitely have a good alternative here, especially if you're looking to highlight on top of the skin. They're really both at a similar level there, but this one may be just a little easier to blend out because it doesn't set as fast and it just has a little more moisture. Now if you're thinking, okay, Em, I saw everything you said about this and I like it all, but I just don't want that much glow. Another alternative from the drugstore that's really popular right now, and for good reason, is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator from the Bare Focus line. This is oil-free, it has hyaluronic acid in it, it looks beautiful on the skin. I can link to past videos where I put this on. I think it's a lovely product, and it can also be, you know, accentuated further with the use of some concealer and a little bit of powder, and you could be very pleased with your look, but it's not going to have as much glow as this. So there's a trade-off. Also, if you're thinking, I love that, but I need some SPF contained in the product, Maybelline has their Dream Urban Cover, and it's fantastic, and it's going to have more coverage than this. It's got SPF 50. It does not have as much shimmer. It has a considerable amount more coverage, though, than this one. It's maybe not quite to the point of IT Cosmetics CC Cream, but it's approaching it, you know, and it's a thinner consistency than that. But I always like to mention, you know, the context of a product and what else is out there that might be similar or might be, you know, just worth comparing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this application, and we're going to take this throughout the day and see how it goes. Plus, you know, this strikes me as like a nice little microphone here. Like, I want to know what love is. Hi friends, checking in at 10 o'clock. So this is 6, 7, 4 hours of wear, and I'm looking really glowy. I will tell you, the surface of my skin does not feel exceptionally dewy. Like, I don't feel as dewy as I look, but I definitely feel that the all over glow of this product, just out and about natural lighting, is really intense. And even if you do set your T-zone, unless you're setting it with something fairly full coverage, like, I think it's really still going to show through. If I get you up real close, I think it's exaggerating skin texture just a bit. At a healthy distance, I just look real glowy and radiant. Eyes and lips are hanging in there nicely, and I still feel like the product is very much still present on my skin. That's not the issue. I'm just looking a lot more glowy than I felt like I did when I left the makeup room earlier today. This hasn't really been exposed to any real heat or sweating yet, so we'll see as the day rolls on. Oh, hello. Little update on the makeup look here at, oh, somebody else needs to get on. Hi. He says, get out of here.
Bad boy.
Get off the camera. Oh my gosh. So it still looks super glowy all around. I don't feel like anything's really worn off. The eyes still look good. The lips are maybe just slightly hanging around there. A little wear down around the nose. And again, I say, like before, my skin does not feel as dewy as it looks. It's just the finish that's in that product that's really, really quite glowy. Like one of the glowier base products you're going to come up with. So what do you think, Bubba?
Hi!
I'll be back later.
My name's Belle.
What's your channel?
My channel is Super Girls Adventures. I do it with my sister.
Do you actually have a channel? Really?
Subscribe! Subscribe!
She has a channel in her mind.
Subscribe.
I hope you'll all subscribe. End of the day update. This is now 13 hours of wear, and what I'm seeing on the face is, again, nothing that feels like an overly oily texture, but it's the same story. It just looks very shiny, very glowy still on the cheeks, on the forehead. Definitely some breakdown around the nose at this point, and just kind of an overall bit of fading, I would say, across the face. I don't consider this to be an ultra long wearing product, although I do think there are measures you can take, like concealer, like setting powder, and maybe a touch up throughout the day, you know, to make it look its freshest. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this product is interesting. It's a close alternative to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Not going to come in as many shades, not quite the same texture, but a bit more moisture. And yeah, I think it's something I'll continue to find different ways to use in my looks going forward. So thank you again for your time, and I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing today?